My wife thought I'd never find out she was cheating, so I ruined her life without saying a word. So, I never thought I'd be one of those guys. You know, the ones pouring their hearts out on Reddit about being cheated on like it's some kind of group therapy. But here I am, because I genuinely don't know what to do, and maybe, just maybe, someone out there has been through this insanity before. I'm 34. My wife, Lila, is 31. We've been together for 6 years, married for 3. Met through mutual friends at a bar, typical rom-com setup. I spilled a drink on her, she fake cussed me out, and by the end of the night we were sharing fries like we'd known each other for years. She was funny, sarcastic, and had this wild energy that made everything feel exciting. That energy turned out to be a damn warning sign. But I ignored it. Or maybe I just didn't want to see it. Anyway, fast forward to now. We bought a house last year. Cute little place in the suburbs. White picket fence, dog named Max, all the stuff you're supposed to be proud of. But for the past couple of months, something's been off. You know that gut feeling people talk about? The one you're not supposed to ignore. Yeah, I ignored the hell out of it. Lila started acting distant. Not in some dramatic, storming out the room kind of way. More like subtle. Less eye contact. Quick to put her phone face down. She used to love cuddling up and watching Netflix at night. Now she'd just scroll through her phone in bed, claiming she was just reading stuff. The thing is, I trusted her. Maybe too much. I mean, this is the woman who once drove 2 hours to bring me soup when I was sick on a work trip. The same woman who cried happy tears when I proposed. She wouldn't cheat. Right? Right? One night, this was 2 weeks ago, I had a headache, went to bed early. She stayed downstairs, said she was going to finish watching some show I didn't care about. Cool, whatever. I pass out. At 2:13 a.m., I wake up. No Lila. I check the time, stumble downstairs, and she's not there either. I check the bathroom. Empty. Finally, I see the light from the garage door flashing for a second as it closes. She walks in, startled to see me up, and stammers something about needing fresh air and sitting in the car to think. At 2 a.m., in the car, alone? I didn't say anything. Just nodded and went back to bed. But something in my chest started aching. I didn't sleep a damn minute that night. Here's where things get real. The next day, she's acting normal. Like suspiciously normal. Making pancakes, humming some stupid song, kissing me like we hadn't just had the weirdest night of our marriage. I wanted to ask her about it, but part of me was scared of the answer. So I did nothing. Then her phone buzzed. She was in the shower. I never, ever go through her phone. Not once in 6 years. But this time, man, I couldn't stop myself. The message was from someone saved as Jay. Last night was amazing. Same time next week. I swear I stopped breathing. I sat there frozen, heart pounding so loud I thought it might wake her up. I scrolled up. More messages. Way more than I expected. You taste like heaven. You're not even scared he'll find out. He's clueless. Poor guy. Let's go somewhere further next time. I want more than the back seat. Back seat. That's when I knew. My garage. Our car. While I was upstairs asleep, I dropped the phone like it burned me. She came out of the shower, towel in her hair, smiling like nothing was wrong. I looked her dead in the eye and lied. Said I was heading to the store. I left without saying another word. I parked at a gas station, sat in my car for an hour, and tried to wrap my head around it. How the hell do you even process something like that? I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because part of me wants to know who the hell Jay is. And the other part wants revenge. And trust me, I'm not talking about some petty social media post or throwing her clothes on the lawn. I want her to feel it. But first, I need the truth. And I think I just figured out how to get it. Alright, so where do we leave off? Right, me sitting in a gas station parking lot, staring out at nothing, trying not to lose my mind over the messages I just saw on Lila's phone. Last night was amazing. Same time next week. Poor guy. Yeah, poor guy is me. I didn't go back home for a few hours. I just drove. Nowhere in particular, just circled neighborhoods, random side streets, even parked outside a closed McDonald's for like 30 minutes. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just shut down. By the time I walked back through the front door, she was on the couch in her hoodie, watching reruns of Friends like the world was perfectly fine. She smiled at me and asked, "Did you find the oat milk?" "The oat milk." I nodded, dropped a grocery bag with random stuff I didn't even remember buying, and went upstairs. And from that moment on, I started watching. No confrontation. No yelling. No dramatic accusations. I knew if I went off too soon, she'd bury the truth deeper, delete the messages, cover her tracks. I needed to know everything first. Over the next few days, I started tracking her patterns. When she left, where she said she was going, who she mentioned seeing. I started setting up small traps, questions about what she was doing that day, details I could later check for lies. And sure enough, the cracks started showing. She told me she had yoga one night, but her yoga mat was still in the trunk. Another night, she said she was meeting her friend Alyssa for wine. Alyssa posted a story that night, alone, at home, watching some documentary with her cat. So on the night she was supposed to visit her sister, I made my move. I told Lila I was heading to poker night with the guys. She kissed me goodbye like nothing was off and drove away before I even got to the end of the driveway. But I didn't go to poker night. I waited 10 minutes, got in my car, and followed her. I kept my distance, 2 or 3 cars back, switching lanes when I had to, praying she wouldn't glance in her mirror and recognize my headlights. She wasn't heading to her sister's. She drove across town to a sketchy strip mall area, then turned into the parking lot of a cheap motel. The kind with peeling paint and flickering neon lights that say, "No vacancy," even when it's clearly half empty. She pulled into the back lot and parked. My heart was slamming, not just from what I thought I was about to see, but from how calm she looked when she got out of the car. No hesitation, no second-guessing, just confidence. Like she'd done this before. She knocked on one of the doors. It opened almost immediately, and then I saw him. Tall, muscular, maybe late 20s. Beard, tattoos, tight shirt like he wanted to advertise his gym membership. He pulled her in and kissed her like he owned her. Couldn't move. I felt like someone had pressed pause on my body while my brain kept spiraling. That was my wife, kissing some stranger in front of a cheap motel while I sat in my car trying to breathe. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I needed to know more. Who was he? Was this really a one-time thing? Or had she built a second life behind my back? So I waited. They stayed in that room for over 2 hours. When she finally came out, she was smiling, laughing at something he said. She gave him one last kiss, got in her car, and drove off like nothing happened. I followed her all the way home. She walked through the door 5 minutes after me, humming some song and tossing her purse on the counter. "I'm starving," she said. "Want me to make us grilled cheese?" I stared at her, not with anger, just disbelief. How do you look someone in the eye and ask if they want a damn grilled cheese after you just cheated on them? I told her no, said I was tired, went upstairs, and then I started digging through her texts, social media, cloud backups, old emails. And that's when I found something that made my blood run cold. She had a second phone. I found the login through an email confirmation buried deep in her inbox, an iCloud account I'd never seen before, tied to a prepaid number. And guess who was all over that phone? Jay. Dozens of photos, text, voice messages, some explicit. But one message stood out more than the rest. From him, to her. "When are you telling your husband? I'm tired of hiding. I want you to myself." My heart sank. So he thinks this is real. Like, long-term real. And she never told him she wasn't single. But that's not even the worst part. Because as I kept reading, I found something that made my hands go cold. Another message. From Lila to Jay. "He's too soft. He'll never find out. And even if he does, he's not the type to do anything. She doesn't think I'll do anything. She thinks I'm soft. She has no idea what's coming. So yeah, he's too soft. He'll never find out. And even if he does, he's not the type to do anything." That's what she told him. That I'm soft. Like I'm some doormat who just cry into his pillow and keep making her breakfast in the morning. No, you don't get to nuke our entire marriage, screw around with some guy in a motel, lie to my face every day, and then call me weak. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Not in a loud, dramatic way. Quiet, focused, cold. If she wanted to play dirty, I was going to play smarter. I didn't want to just confront her anymore. I wanted her to feel it. I wanted her to realize exactly what she threw away and just how deep of a hole she was standing in when the floor finally dropped out. So I started gathering everything. I took screenshots of the texts, the voice messages, the photos. I even recorded a screen capture of her little message about me being too soft. All of it backed up on multiple drives, cloud folders, and a secure app on my phone. Then I got a burner phone, just like she did. I created a fake number, a fake identity, and then I did something a little risky. I messaged Jay, not as myself. I pretended to be someone else, some anonymous, concerned friend who had heard rumors about the woman he was seeing. And guess what? He bit. Jay was surprisingly open. Told me he'd been seeing this amazing woman for a few months. Said she was married, but planning to leave the guy soon. He really thought he was the main character in some tragic romance novel. I asked him one simple question. What would you do if you found out she was lying to you too? No reply. At least, not right away. Because while I had him thinking, I went after the second part of the plan. See, Lila didn't just cheat. She played me. Lied to my face every single day. She was ready to build an entire life with this guy and throw me out like last week's trash. So I made sure the trash would take her out instead. We have a shared bank account, a joint credit card, a house deed with both our names. But what she didn't realize was that I'd been quietly shifting things around for the past week. I opened my own personal account, started routing my paycheck into it, froze the joint card under the pretense that I thought we had some fraud charges. She didn't even blink, just said, "Oh, that sucks," and kept scrolling through Instagram. I also took my name off as many utilities and bills as I could, transferred titles, documented every shady purchase she made, every trip to that motel, every Uber to places she never told me about. I even scheduled a meeting with a lawyer, told him everything, showed him everything. And he looked me dead in the eye and said, "We can make this hurt." But I wasn't done yet, because there was one person who still didn't know any of this was happening. Lila. She still thought I was clueless. Still thought she was smarter than me. Still kissing me goodnight like she hadn't just had another man's hands all over her a few days earlier. That smile she gives when she's lying? I started smiling back. Fake, sweet, innocent. I told her she should take a girl's weekend. Told her I'd even pay for it. Said she seemed stressed and needed a break. She beamed, kissed me, told me I was the best husband. No. I was just giving her one last good memory before the walls came crashing in. Because while she was away on her weekend escape, spoiler, she was meeting him again, I had full access to the house. No distractions. No dodging questions. No slipping up. So I printed out the messages, the pictures, the screenshots of her lies. I put them in a bright red folder and left it right on the kitchen table, right next to her wedding ring. And under that folder, divorce papers, signed, filed, with my lawyer's contact info neatly clipped to the front. But that wasn't even the best part. The best part was the note I wrote on a sticky attached to the folder. Too soft? No, just patient. Enjoy explaining this to Jay. He knows everything now. Because yeah, before I left that house, I sent everything to Jay. All of it. The texts, the dates, the motel visits. The fact that she never planned to leave me. That she was lying to him, too. Just like she lied to me. And you want to know the funniest thing? He actually responded this time. Damn, I had no idea. Thanks for the truth, man. Short, sharp. No arguing. No defending her. Just reality hitting him in the face. But here's the twist. When Lila came back from her little escape, she walked into a house that wasn't hers anymore. And I wasn't there. I was already gone. But she didn't just lose me. She lost everything. And in part 4, let's just say, things got way messy, because Lila didn't take it well. At all. So, she came back from her girls' weekend thinking everything was business as usual. She didn't know Jay was ghosting her. Didn't know he'd seen the screenshots. Didn't know her entire world was waiting to implode the second she stepped inside that front door. But she found out fast. She walked in and saw the red folder on the table. The divorce papers. The wedding ring sitting right on top like a damn gravestone. Then she saw the note. Too soft? No, just patient. Enjoy explaining this to Jay. He knows everything now. I wasn't there. Of course not. I moved out that morning. I had a short-term lease set up, a storage unit for my stuff, and a few good friends who helped me pack up in less than 4 hours while she was off hiking with her side dude. She called me 23 times in the first hour. Then came the texts. Babe, what is this? Can we talk? Please? It's not what you think. Please just call me. No. I let her stew. She had years to talk to me honestly. Years to come clean. She chose lies. So now I chose silence. But she didn't stop. Later that night, she showed up at my new place. I don't even know how she found it. Probably stalked my friends, tracked my phone, maybe even tailed my car earlier in the week. She knocked like a cop, loud, non-stop, frantic. I opened the door just enough to see her face. She looked wrecked. Makeup smeared. Eyes red. Hoodie pulled up like she was trying to disappear into it. Please, she said. Just let me explain. So I stepped outside. Closed the door behind me. Arms crossed. No emotion. Go ahead. And then the floodgates opened. She cried. Said she messed up, that she never meant for it to go this far, that she didn't know how to stop once it started. She actually said, I was scared you'd leave me if I told the truth. I laughed. Out loud. You mean you were scared I'd leave you for cheating? So instead, you just kept cheating? She looked like she'd been slapped. Then she switched tactics. Got angry. Said I violated her privacy, that I should have just talked to her, that everyone makes mistakes, right? You don't accidentally book a motel room multiple times. You don't mistakenly tell your side guy that your husband's too soft to find out. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. She asked me if we could start over. Said she'd cut him off, go to therapy, do anything. And for a second, I'll admit, I almost felt bad. We built a life together. We had plans. We'd been through hard times. The way she was crying, sobbing, wasn't fake. I could tell. But then I remembered something. This wasn't the first time she cheated. Yeah, I didn't mention that before. But years ago, back when we were just dating, she had a one-night mistake during a work trip. Swore it would never happen again. Said she was drunk, confused, young. I forgave her. And now here we are. People don't cheat because of alcohol or confusion, I told her. They cheat because they think they won't get caught. She stood there silent, arms wrapped around herself, cold and alone. I walked back inside. Didn't say another word. Locked the door. Blocked her number the next morning. But it wasn't over. Because remember Jay? He didn't just ghost her. He showed up too. Except he wasn't there to fix things. He wanted answers. And what happened next? Man, you're not ready. Part 5 is where the final twist drops. The part she never saw coming.